Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
The deluxe was $690.
Yes, Your Honor. And she was supposed to book both of us a $300 room. She booked herself a $690 room and me a $300.
Oh, she got the better room.
Yes, that's why I'm suing her for that.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. You want him to pay $628.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knock my socks off. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. The law talks about something may in fact be true, but can they prove it? And that's what's tough.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Joe Fisher claims his assistant made personal charges to his debit and credit cards without his approval. Mr. Fisher is suing Rachel Kim in the amount of $2,000. Ms. Kim claims she was never reimbursed for expenses she felt were owed to her and says she doesn't owe Mr. Fisher a dime.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Third, get over there, Thomas. Mr. Fisher, Ms. Kim was your assistant.
Yes, sir.
She got a little credit card charge happy with your account.
I believe she did, Your Honor.
According to you, Ms. Kim, you felt as though the charges were justified.
Yes, and I have a story to back everything up.
You know what? I'm going to start with you because I know his case. His situation is you gave her your credit card. She's your assistant.
Yes, Your Honor.
You weren't happy with the additional charges you saw on your account.
She used my card in unauthorized ways.
How long were the two of you in a relationship where she was working with you?
For 2 years.
For 2 years. Now, Ms. Kim, what do you want to say?
So he's going to bring up 3 instances. The first being that I booked plane tickets for both of us to go on a business trip to New York.
What was your understanding about those plane tickets?
I have the evidence here right here. He gave me directions.
And the directions
and I'd like
involved
to,
what?
For the trip.
He said, book us 2 tickets for a flight.
Yes, from San Francisco to New York. In the past, he has a pattern of giving me directions that are not clear, and he says something, takes it back later, or he tells me to do something, and then I do it, and he says that I did it wrong.
Okay.
So in this case,
let me hear from Mr. Fisher.
Your Honor, this particular trip, I specifically told her I needed her to book me a first-class airfare and herself a regular coach airfare.
Okay.
Well, when I got to the airport, I'm in the first-class line, and guess who shows up in the first-class line? My assistant, thinking that she had a first-class airfare. I said, what are you doing here?
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because I would book myself a first-class ticket, too.
Me too.
You too. Now, is this the email that you sent Ms. Kim? Things for you to take care of this week. Keep me updated when you complete everything, as always.
Yes, yes, Your
You
Honor.
said you want 2 plane tickets. And as she indicated, San Francisco to New York and then back to L.A.
And I specifically told her as a follow-up verbally to get me a first class
because
and her
she
to get a coach.
says, this is what he told me. It's in writing. There's no conversation here about first class versus coach. It says, buy me 2 tickets. 1 for you and 1 for me.
Correct.
All right. Now, that would mean both of you would be riding first class. How is it that he didn't get his ticket?
So, like I said, he has a pattern of telling me things incorrectly. In the past, he always gets the first class ticket, and I always get coach. That is something that I won't fight on him. However, this time, I was in a fight with my boyfriend, actually, about my job. And
what was the fight with your boyfriend about the job?
He thinks that what I was doing for Mr. Fisher is inappropriate and that he crossed a lot of lines and things that I shouldn't be doing. And
Such as?
So there are multiple instances, but the ones that really stand out to me are when he called me at 3 a.m. in the morning to pick up condoms and lubricant and bring them over to his apartment. My boyfriend does not... Your Honor, that is just one instance.
I got this. You can't buy your own condoms?
She's supposed to be on call 24 hours a day.
I mean, this is out of like The Devil Wears Prada or something. You know, having the nightmare boss.
Your Honor, I pay her well. I lavish her with gifts when she does what I tell her I need to have done. And when she goes above and
You make
beyond,
it sound
I buy
okay.
her
Well,
nice
if
things.
you pay her well, then that's what a boss does. He pays his employee what they're valued at. You make it sound like you're doing her a favor paying her well. It sounds like she was doing the job.
He didn't give me a raise for 2 years.
Your Honor, I
Is that
took her
true?
straight out of college, gave her her first job.
So give her a raise within 2 years.
She hasn't earned it yet. I've given her gifts, so haven't I given you gifts?
Yes, but a raise would have been nice as well to show me that you appreciate all the work that I do for you. If he works 70 hours, that means I'm working 80 hours a week.
And that's what the conversation was with your boyfriend.
Yes.
He was like, what are you doing? Huh?
And that's why I messed up, and I've already apologized. I don't know why he's bringing this up now. I already apologized about the first class ticket. I followed him to the first class line because I looked down at my ticket and I realized, wait, if I have the first class, what does he have? And I realized, oh no, I probably just mixed up the names. I ran up after him and I told the flight attendant what happened. It was my fault. I'm so sorry. Can we please switch the names? She said, okay. He was on that flight in first class. So I don't know why he's coming back and suing me now because I sat in that coach seat.
Your Honor, if I may.
Stop. She's very good at what she does. I can tell. She's on it.
Your Honor, if
You
I
were
may,
lucky to have her.
If that was the only thing that happened.
You ultimately were able to sit in first class, correct?
Yes, yes, Your
Okay.
Honor, I was. But when we went on that trip and I got home and I saw my bank statement, I saw a couple other things that she did that were unauthorized.
Like what?
And I have proof of that. When I asked her to book our hotel rooms.
Show me. Because on here, there's something about book 2 hotel rooms. This is also in New York?
Yes, I asked her to book 2 regular hotel rooms, and when I got the bill, you can see it looks like there's a suite that was charged for and a regular room.
Coming up on America's Court,
The regular room was $300 a night.
Yes,
The deluxe was $690.
yes, Your Honor. And
All right.
she was supposed to book both of us a $300 room. She booked herself a $690 room and me a $300.
She got the better room.
Yes.
and later,
It's dentistry. You have to
You gonna
wait.
talk
It
anyway.
takes time, Your
You
Honor.
think that's going to help you or hurt you by talking after I say,
Your Honor. Trying to prove my point.
Sit down. Sit down.
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Joe Fisher, who is suing Rachel Kim for $2,000.
The regular room was $300 a night.
Yes.
The deluxe was $690.
Yes, Your Honor. And
All right.
she was supposed to book both of us a $300 room. She booked herself a $690 room and me a $300.
She got the better room.
Yes, that's why I'm suing her for that $390. That's not the end of it, Your Honor. When
Miss
I
Kim-
got the
wait,
statement,
wait.
Can I tell my side of the story?
Yes.
Thank you. So, Your Honor, like I said, in the past, he has never given me good directions. So, our previous business trip, he yelled at me because I got 2 regular rooms, and he said he wanted a suite because he wants to impress his clients and bring them up to the suite and show off kind of the life that he lives so he can impress them and he can get those accounts. I thought that this time I'll just avoid the fight altogether. I'm just going to get the suite, and that way when he brings up his clients, I'll have his computer set up, his laptop set up, all of his binders, his files, everything ready so that he can
She
come
is
in.
so on it.
Your Honor, I
She is
never
so
saw
on it.
where she stayed at the suite. It was always like a secret. She never
Who
let me come up
ultimately
to her
stayed
room.
in the $690 room?
She did.
I did so that I could prep everything for him.
The next morning when the clients came, did the clients come to that suite?
No, they didn't. We had to meet in a conference room because that was our agreement. I told her, book 2 standard rooms. If we have to have any meetings, we'll meet in conference rooms because this particular
Well, wait a minute.
hotel.
If you have a regular room and a suite, now you're talking about a third room.
Conference room is part of the deal when you book the hotel. You get used to the conference room.
You didn't need the suite.
Right, right.
Is this for the first class? Well, I mean, because we've already talked about
It's for
that.
the airfare.
And then is this your bank statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, what is this Sale Direct DEP? And what is this about a watch?
She decided to buy herself a watch. I told her if this trip was successful, and it was okay, I got 2 extra clients, I would buy her a steel watch. She took upon herself to buy herself her own watch. I had told her when I hired her,
Let me hear from her. Did he say he would buy you a watch if he got additional clients?
I have the
Did he say he was going to buy you a watch if there were additional clients?
yes, the evidence
Did he
is in
get
front
the
of you.
additional clients?
Yes, he did.
Did you buy her the watch?
No, Your Honor, I was going to surprise her and buy her a watch. I've done that in other
3
instances
weeks
where I
later,
bought her
and he
gifts.
hadn't
Wait,
gotten
wait,
me
wait,
a
wait.
watch.
Don't tell me.
I only
You
got
were
two
probably going to
extra
have to
clients.
order your own watch anyway, so you were like, I might as well pick out what I like. She is on it. And you're mad that the very watch that you said you were going to buy her, she went ahead and picked it out for herself?
But, Your Honor, in order to honor somebody, you don't have them buy their own watch. I told her when she got used to the credit cards, I said, let me know if you're going to charge
You don't
something.
get it.
Or whenever I need to charge something, I will let you know.
Hold on a moment. I see you. The gavel is going to come down in favor of the plaintiff. I'm doing you a favor, because you want to give him the gift of missing you. And someone's going to snap you. I wouldn't be surprised right now. Someone's like, can we get her number? Because we could use her here. If he wants that watch back, give it to him. You got many more watches coming. So I will give you the $610 for the watch. The $1,000 for the room, for the first class, that's not going to happen. The money's for the suite, that's not going to happen. But I'll give you back your $610. The one thing I can say about you that's positive is that you spotted great talent. And when you miss her, and you say, maybe I should bring her back, you tell him, hell no. 610 is your judgment. Take place.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $610.
Next time I hire a personal assistant, I'll just be really clear about my expectations.
So I have to give Joe some money back for the watch, but it's such a small price to pay for cutting him out of my life.
And coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
It's dentistry. You have to
You
wait.
talk
It
anyway.
takes time, Your
You
Honor.
think that's going to help you or hurt you by talking after I say,
Your Honor, trying to prove my point.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Hank Brooker is suing Dr. Samuel Gaines for professional negligence. Mr. Brooker is suing in the amount of $3,000. Dr. Gaines claims Mr. Booker rushed him to finish the operation, so he doesn't feel he's to blame.
All parties will sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. Had a problem with the tooth. Mr. Gaines, you're the dentist
Yes, sir.
that performed the procedure.
Yes, sir. I've been practicing for 7 years.
You've been practicing for 7 years. How long had you been having a relationship with Mr. Brooker?
He's a new patient of mine.
He's a
He
new
comes
patient.
in and out.
Why Dr. Gaines?
I just found him on the internet. He seemed like, from his website and all that, he seemed like a nice and reputable guy.
You weren't going to him just for overall maintenance. You were going because you had a problem.
Yes, sir.
And the
Yes,
problem,
Your Honor.
you said it had to do with pain.
Yes, sir. It was painful. It was like a sharp pain in the left side of my jaw. That would be this side. The left side of my jaw. And there was a heat, so I went in there because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't go to work that day. Your Honor, I am a car salesman. My job is to get people, families, into cars so they can get their kids to school, so they can get their families to work. So
And
yeah,
so you can get a commission.
well, I got to make a dollar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with that.
There you go.
All right. The issue here is he came to you to perform a surgery. What was wrong with the tooth?
Your Honor, his mouth is just jacked up. I don't know how to put it simply. It is
No, you
terrible.
know how to
He
put it.
came
You
to
just
me-
did. You said it was jacked up.
Coming up on America's Court.
It's dentistry. You have to
You gonna
wait.
talk
It
anyway.
takes time, Your
You
Honor.
think that's going to help you or hurt you by talking after I say,
Your Honor, trying to prove my point.
Sit down. Sit down.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Hank Brooker, who is suing Dr. Samuel Gaines for professional negligence.
You schedule a procedure that day. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor, he
All
was
right.
in severe
The
pain.
procedure did not go as planned.
It did.
Initially, it did, Your Honor.
What was the
It was-
procedure that you performed?
I extracted the lower horizon impactal tooth. It's tooth
One tooth.
17. Yes, Your Honor. I also needed
was
to
the
do.
plan to then replace that with an implant?
Yes, Your Honor.
The one procedure was
Yes, sir.
successful.
Yes,
you
sir.
came back for the implant.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Did
Your
the
Honor.
doctor perform the implant procedure?
He did, yes, Your Honor.
He did?
Yes.
You were pleased with that?
No.
Okay. What happened with the implant
Your
procedure?
Honor, he's screaming around, squirming.
Now we're talking
giving
about when he came back for the implant.
Yes, after the implant, Your Honor. And he's complaining, and he wants me to give him prescription drugs. And I told him, you go over the counter, go get Tylenol Plus. It works for 80% of my patients.
What I'm trying to understand here is the $3,000 does not pertain to the initial extraction.
No, Your Honor. So.
This is the issue of the implant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because what happened with the implant?
The implant got infected severely. I kept calling back to his office. He wouldn't give me any medication. He wouldn't return any of my emails or phone calls or anything like
Is
that.
that why you have these emails here?
Oh, yes,
I
Your
tried calling your office line, but I keep getting your voicemail. I need to speak with you regarding my tooth. I'm still having sharp pain. I don't think the operation worked. I can't describe it, but it hurts. And where does the $3,000 come from?
I have a receipt for that right here.
Show
It's
me.
the $2,950, $2,950.
Just show
for
me.
Okay.
We need an economy of words with you, okay?
The car sales.
And on the second page is a note from the second doctor I went to.
Your Honor, that man is a hack. That is a... It's dentistry. You have to
You
wait.
talk
It
anyway.
takes time, Your
You
Honor.
think that's going to help you or hurt you by talking after I say mm-mm?
Your Honor, trying to prove my point.
Sit down. Sit down. Doctor.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
All I have is that you paid monies to another doctor to have a procedure performed, and I don't have the evidence that establishes that the implant that the defendant did is the same as the one done here.
That isn't the receipt there, Your Honor?
I have a receipt saying dental implant and a code number. It doesn't indicate to me the nexus between his performing work that was negligent and you establishing that his work was negligent, other than this unsigned letter from this doctor. It's not notarized. I have no way of cross-examining this doctor. The doctor's not here. And I really have a problem with how you handled this.
Your Honor,
You're not talking, you're listening.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to come back, file sufficient paperwork, establish that this was the same tooth, and then I will reconsider the matter. And hopefully this doctor has a better attitude and you have a better attitude.
Oh, I appreciate that, Your Honor.
All right, that is the order. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled. The case has been dismissed.
I'm really happy I have a chance to come back and prove my case. That dentist will be paying for my tooth.
Mr. Booker's been a nuisance since the day I met him. I wish he would have never walked in my office.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.